clutch, man. That thing spools up like a turbo. I did say we're not professionals, right? I mentioned that. Yeah. Did I mention that we're not professionals? Okay. I need to put a disclaimer in the description. Probably put it before every video too. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rusty Nuts Media. Today over here with Project Gewch. In the last episode, we got the head pulled off. We had a blown head gasket, of course. We figured out where it was blown at. So today, I've got the new head gasket in. I'm gonna be cleaning the surfaces, the head, the block, all that kind of stuff, cleaning everything up, and then just putting everything back together. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So I've got everything laid out right here that needs to go back on the car, all the front end stuff that goes back on, all the accessories, everything like that. We've got the head over here. It's been wrapped up out of the weather, everything like that, out of the cool air. Didn't want any moisture or anything getting on it. Some more hardware under here. The block's been wrapped up. Everything was lubricated before I wrapped it up. So everything should be good here to go. All I got to do is clean up everything really clean, make sure everything's really in order where everything needs to go. And then just start putting this stuff back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, off to a good start so far. We've got everything was cleaned up really good. We've got the new head gasket sitting on there. We've got the head set on the studs. We've got all the washers and nuts on the studs, on the head studs here. So now I'm pretty much ready to start torquing this down. And there's a handful of different ways to torque a head, but the way I'm gonna be doing it is somewhere around 25 to 30 first round, another round somewhere around 50 to 60, and then the last round is gonna be 85 foot-pounds all the way down. And then I'm gonna do a couple other things, be bolting on the timing chain cover, the oil pan, a couple things like that. And then before I put the valve cover on, I'm also gonna double check the torque once more on the head just to make sure everything is set to the correct setting before I lock everything else down. So that's what we're doing right now. It's gonna be pretty quick, pretty easy to throw everything back together. It's just the exact opposite of how you took everything off. New gaskets where you need it. And the oil pan and the timing chain cover on the calipers actually don't have a gasket. There is a gasket you can use out there. I'm not gonna use one. I haven't before, and I'm not going to now. I've just used it's either black or gray RTV silicone. And that's all I've used before. I've never had any leaks or anything like that. If I do start to have any leaks, you'll know about it in the future. Of course, I'll record all that stuff too, but I'm just going back with the factory RTV sealant that they use from Dodge. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna go ahead and start torquing this down, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so that step's out of the way. The head has been torqued down completely. Now before I put the cams in and start putting this thing back in time, I'm gonna let it sit for probably 30 minutes to an hour, probably go grab some lunch or something. Make sure everything in there settles down, everything's good to go, and then recheck the torque before I drop the cams in, because I just realized once I put these cams in, I'm not gonna be able to get down to some of these if I had to guess. So I'm gonna let that sit for a little while and make sure everything is right before I throw in the cams and do the rest of it. So I'm gonna take a quick little break and come back shortly. Well, it wouldn't be a Dodge Caliber if there wasn't any bad news putting something together. So, set the cams back in there, went to start tightening down the cam caps, doing it in sequence, This one back here, never got tight. It went all the way down, but it never got tight. It never even attempted to tighten up. It just kept spinning and spinning and spinning. And of course, when that happens, that pit of your stomach feeling just comes out, like, oh, here we go again. So looking at the bolt that came out of there, here we go. This is the bolt, and this material was wrapped around that bolt. I just spun it off of there, and that's actually aluminum material. So it's not an insert that was previously in there before. That's just aluminum, I'm guessing, from the head itself. So it appeared at some point in time that it started stripping out, and I just kind of finished it off with this job here. So the plan now, as much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna run to the parts store real quick and grab some helicoils, and I'm just gonna throw a coil in this thing and then hammer down on it and see what happens. Fingers crossed it holds together. That has been the motto here at Rusty Nuts Media, is fingers crossed, maybe it'll hold together. And we've got our little sacrifices up there to the speed gods. So this is just gonna be another one of those. Too bad it won't look good on the wall. I'm gonna have to throw that away because it's so small. But that's where we're at right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to the store, grab some coils, come back here, tap that out, put a coil in it, and then start torquing again and see how far I can get. So give me a few minutes and I'll be back. All right, so this is how the day's going so far. Not only is this bolt hole in the head stripped out, it would be this one right here. So went to Napa, got a helicoil kit, ready to start putting it in. Takes a 1/4 inch drill bit, so got my 1/4 inch drill bit, go to drill, and I can't get it lined up straight. So also my DeWalt batteries were at my house, so not only did I get back here with the tap and die set and all that stuff, then I had to go back again, get the batteries, come back here. Cody's over here now to help me out a little bit with that. But what I'm gonna have to do is cut some length off of this drill bit just to get it short enough to fit in there to where I can drill it straight up and down, then add the helicoil, and then go back to tightening the cam caps back down. So that's how the day's going so far. All right, guys, as I've stated before, this is not a how-to channel. Anything you see me doing, don't do it. It's not a good idea. I'm not a professional. In this car, I don't care if it blows up. It's just a toy. It's an experiment. It's a lot of fun. Normally, if something like this happens, you should take this head off, take it to a verified machine shop, get them to do this work for you. This is just at home, on the fly, for the cheap, rusty nuts media. That's what this is. So of course you can do, when you're drilling and tapping this out, you can do cutting oil. You can Loctite this thing in here. There's 100 different ways to do it. Half turn in, 1/4 turn back, half turn in, 1/4 turn, all this different stuff. There's plenty of videos and instructions out there already on how to do this kind of stuff. That's why I'm not walking you through how to do this. A lot of people are gonna say the way I do it's fine. A lot of people are gonna say it's the wrong way to do it. You're gonna get 100 different opinions, but this is the way I do it. I do everything on the car. We've ground the head out on the car. We didn't take it off for that. And I mean, mistakes are gonna be made. The head gasket's blown. We've snapped an axle. We've done plenty of stuff wrong, but we've also done plenty of stuff right. And this is a learning experience for all of us. None of us are trained. None of us are professionals. None of us are mechanics. We're just having fun, man. This is a project car. This is just something we work on in our spare time, go out and have fun with, and that's what we do. So I'm not gonna walk you through what I'm doing. It could be wrong, it could be right, it could work, it could break immediately, who knows? But that's where we're at right now. We went ahead and got the helicoil put in, so that has been repaired. We're gonna go ahead and put the cam back in here, put all the caps back on, and start torquing this thing to spec. And I'll be back after we get them torqued down and we start on the timing stuff. So give me just a minute. We're not professionals, ain't that right, Cody?
That's right.
We ain't professionals, we're just good old boys working on race cars. And I hate to say it, but more bad news, we actually have another one. Same deal, it's on one of the cam caps. Slowly tightening them down little bit by little bit, going around in sequence. Another one got loose, so we're gonna pull this one back out, do the same thing, helicoil. And I mean, that's the thing with aluminum, especially aluminum heads and real small bolts like this, you gotta torque them down to spec. These cams have been in and out of this car several times. These caps have been off a whole bunch of times. Once you torque this aluminum like this several times, it really starts to weaken it. And I mean, that's just a negative side effect of aluminum heads, aluminum block, aluminum threads in general. They don't take a lot of wear and tear. They're good for usually 1 or 2 repairs, and that's about it. So we're gonna take this out, add in another helicoil on this one, and then go back to town. And eventually, these cams are gonna be installed again. So slowly but surely, we'll get it there. Here we are, an hour later. How many have we had?
I lost count.
4, I think. 4 total have stripped out. It's getting really cold out here. So we've done 4 helicoils in the head so far. This head probably has close to 180,000 miles on it. It's been through some crap. Cams have been out several times. This head is just about done. Which I say jokingly, you can keep doing helicoils in pretty much all of them. And the cool thing about helicoils is they're not aluminum, they're a little bit stronger, but I'm not sure what they're made of, but a magnet will pick them up. So they are a little stouter as far as the threads go. So once they're in there, they should be good to be reused a few times. Plus the pack came with like 20 of them. So we've got plenty to go. It's just once we get the cams started torquing down, that's when we discover that one pulls out. So we have to take it all back out again, helicoiled, and start the process all over again. So we're on our 4th or 5th round of installing these cams now. Maybe, just maybe, these cams will go in tonight. And I was gonna actually crank the car today, but that was 4 or 5 hours ago, before I had to run all over the world and buy a whole bunch of stuff and do this 4 times. But here we are. This is part of it, man. This is part of working on a race car. It's part of working on any car, really, but that's where we're at right now. So as soon as we get these torqued down, I'll come back and I'll tell you the great news. Fingers crossed. All right, here we go. We have 16 of these 10 millimeter bolts that we have to torque. Did it do it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. 1. Did it do it?
Yeah.
2. I'm gonna ask every time. if you just keep spinning one of them, I'm just gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. JB Weld in there, I don't know. Loctite, JB Weld. Well, I can't weld aluminum. Otherwise I would. It'd be the last set of cams ever installed in this car. If it doesn't get tight, if it doesn't click, don't even tell me, man. Just move on to the next one and just don't tell me.
I already have on 3 of them.
Okay. Oh my God, is the exhaust side done?
The exhaust is done.
Oh, we're halfway there. No, we still gotta put the
End cap.
end cap on, whatever you wanna call it. Dude, my heart is racing right now. I don't want to pull these back out.
I almost had them torqued perfect with just 3 inches.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, that's all 16 of those. So the next thing to go on is this shared cap that goes on the end here. Those are actually 12 millimeter, and they are 12 foot-pounds, 18 foot-pounds. I'll have to look it up again. But we get those 4 bolts in, and the cams are officially done. So I'll be back in just a minute once we get that done. All right, here's where we're at. It is cold in here now, super cold. Concrete floor, very cold on the feet. All right, so of course we got the cams in, everything's torqued down there. They're installed. We were able to get the timing system on. It's in time, everything's locked down. We got the tensioner reset, put it on there, pulled the pin like a grenade, locked it into place. We rotated it one time just to make sure everything was good. The tensioner crept on out just a hair, so it's good there. It's got little teeth that kind of lock it out. If it clicks out any farther, it'll stay there. It won't compress back unless you release those little teeth on it. So I wanted to make sure it was all the way out. So I think we've got it where it needs to be. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this engine for tonight. Probably be back over here tomorrow or later this week when we've got some clear weather, and go ahead and start finishing up the install on all this stuff. The oil pan, the timing cover, the valve cover, all the accessories, intake, exhaust, all that good stuff. So slowly going back together, but the head is back on. Head gasket has been replaced. All the leaks have been fixed internally. Knock on wood, everything goes good there. So soon we'll be testing out some new parts, like I've said before, which I'm gonna leave that as a surprise right now until we actually start putting them on. It did come in the mail the other day, so I'm pretty excited to check it out. I've already looked at it, but I haven't touched it or anything like that. So that'll be coming here shortly. It's a new product review that a company's released. They want me to test it out for them, so I'm going to help them out with that. Other than that, Cody, you want to say bye to everybody?
Peace.
Peace, guys. We'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye.